This morning I received news. One of my friends passed away. Since I come to Australia, how many of my friends passed away? I look at, oh, so fast. It happened so fast. So you look at human being. Our life is so fragile, and yet we are so negligent in our own practice. We are so forgetful about who we are, what are the approach we should make for ourselves in the practice of the Lord Buddha's teaching. When a person is dead men tell no tears. It's just a supposition world. But of course, in the world of supposition, we perform the supposition figures to the best of our ability. Even though you're lay people, you're a preceptor, or you are a monk in robes, so forth, we practice to fulfill our own responsibility. Because why? When death arrives in our doorstep, they never tell you, hey, are you ready? No. If your meditation is not up to date, you won't know. Things happen just one split second, they were gone. Unless you meditate, then you will know when you're going to die, for sure. How you're going to die, when you're going to die, how you're going to die, what time, what date, die of what, you also know. So we mustn't be complacent in our practice, because this is the world. When I received news, I was shocked this morning. Hey, that's it, finish. What we have planned for to do, gone. To help Buddhism, gone already. Things happen just like that. So it's so uncertain in life. So what is certain? That what we have been chanting all this while, life is uncertain, but death is certain. You see? And the Buddha always emphasized, look at ourselves, do our own practice, to each their own karma. Then we won't have any problem. Because why? Good or whatever kind of karma we created is a karma. Sometimes we may have good intentions, but the way we do things, we have the wrong approach. And thus is not a good karma. It's becoming a unwholesome karma. A good karma is what? When we do something, people rejoice. We know the impact. People rejoice. We also rejoice when we know it's good. But good on a personal level, because human beings got different level of understanding. We cannot force fit. We can't force fit knowledge. A person who don't understand, who are in the kindergarten, we try to force fit doctorate knowledge to a kindergarten kids. And we say that kindergarten kids are so stupid, don't know what they are doing, this and that. And we're causing pain for other people, and we get ourselves woke up. And that shouldn't be the case. The proper approach is we set our example, that's all. The duty of an individual never cross the line. Lay people live like lay people. Monk live like monk. The lay people come, they support the monk. The monk duty, they do their practice, and that's it. And whatever thing is supposed to be done, which should be done in the more skillful way. And that doesn't result in repercussion of remorse later, which is again and again repeating. Because of false fit information, which shouldn't be the case. Because why? A lot of place, if we look at the place, the temple never had problem. Problem are man-made problem. The religion never had problems. We are so lucky we are in Australia, let me tell you. So lucky. 2 days ago in Malaysia, they come out with stupid rules to restrict other religion. You see? We don't have it here. We have this freedom of practice, and we should treasure it. But if we are in Malaysia, then we're going to have more problems. And with this kind of attitude, you're going to go crazy. We're going to go crazy if we're in that type of country. So we must always know how to treasure, to precious what we have now. Because life is short. If we look at the age we are in now, how old are we now? How much more can we do? Have we attained what the Buddha said? We should always reflect on this thing. The Buddha always said, when you say something, you say out of compassion. When you say something, will trigger the kind of vigor for people to practice, for the relinquishment of their defilement. That should be the kind of approach to make people understand. Because different people, they come. Some people, they come with the mind state, I want to do dana, and that's it. Some people, they come, I want to observe precept, I want to practice meditation, I want to do chanting, blah, blah, blah. And this is how people varies. And we're not going to force fit it. You must do, no. That's going to work, not going to work. Because if we look at ourselves, when some demand is put upon us, are we happy? We also not happy. But we always say that, we want to teach people. We can't even teach ourselves first. We teach ourselves first. We must be able to sit and meditate and attain samadhi. Samadhi is what? Upachara samadhi, kanika samadhi, appana samadhi. And what are the symptoms? We must fully master this thing in our trade. This is our trade. We must know what is samadhi. The Buddha always emphasized, you want to accumulate merit. This is the better merit, the best merit, because you don't cause trouble to other people. You only bring peace to oneself, to yourself. Because of peace from within, people can feel it. People get used to that person. They know this person got samadhi. He got the mental power. He got a kind of energy in the person, individual. But if our mind is always full of adverse thoughts, thought that is not so kind, then people will run away. People will feel disgusted. Why this type of thing happening? So we got to look inside here. Remember, when we look inside here. Keep bringing back to our mind, bringing back to ourselves, back to the center point, until the mind can really come to a complete stop. When we say complete stop, is what? Appana samadhi, not through the books. Then we will find that, book is book. It's not the real experience. The real experience is from inside. That you see, so calm, so serene, so wonderful, that we want to, when the Buddha talk about calmness, this is the real calmness. When the Buddha talk about Nati, Santi, Paramang Santi. Santi is what? Peace. Santi, peace. The peace of the heart. Because only with this peaceful heart, then whatever place we go, no problem, peace. Because why? It always do things with happiness. You always do things with a very kind of compassionate mind state and coupled with this peace. Then you can see the difference is there. It's nothing to do with other thing else. You have this kind of mind state, very, very, you got this kind of vigor, energy. And when we do things, we never have any problem with other people, no problem. Then we will see, people will see you like you always been taken advantage of. No, because we view others as silly. These people, they are silly. These people, they don't know what is called calmness. So they are not going to waste the time with these people. You just look at them and then they just keep quiet. Last time, we were once upon a time like that. When we look at our teacher, why don't do this, why we don't do that, blah, 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 blah. We try to correct the whole world. In the end, we get so frustrated. In the end, we get so weighed down by why the teacher don't do this, why the teacher don't do that. This is what happened to me when I was a young monk. And later, when I go to the forest, I stayed alone. I say, shit, I've been looking at other people all the time. I should be looking at myself. This is where I start to flip over, change. Then we start to do long hours sitting, long hours walking, tudong, do a lot of tudong. We don't care. We don't care about the outside world. Other people say, selfish. No, we don't give a damn. You will die. You think, who can help you? You go down to hell. Who help me? We go to heaven. Who help me? We help ourselves. Because I saw one old monk in Canterbury, Long Pu Fak's temple. This old monk was a principal. Because of his principle, he's a principal. So when he came to the temple, and Long Pu Fak was very kind. Long Pu Fak thought that he's a principal and let him ordain so they can stay in temple. And so what happened is, because he was a principal, he also teach. So his problem is he like to teach. Even Long Pu Fak, he also teach. I said, shit. He talked behind the teacher. Long Pu Fak this and Long Pu Fak that. Actually, is his problem. And Long Pu Fak just keep quiet. But the young man said, hey, you better don't do it, Long Pa. You're creating bad karma. And then you want to set this system, set that system. And then one day, he falls sick and he died. You know what happened? He became a peta. Yes. Even now, you go to Canterbury, you go at the staircase. At night, he will cry, standing there crying, even now, because of the karma he committed. So never think that this worldly knowledge, this worldly authority can go beyond karma. No, be careful. The law of karma is beyond supposition world. Thing we cannot see with the eye doesn't mean they don't exist. Because when the mind state drop that time, no one can help us. You see, no put toe, never always criticize monk. This monk no good, that monk no good. Whole day until all the monk know this long power, they just keep quiet, let him talk. You know, I go there also be lectured. Who's this old monk? Then they say, oh, this long Paul. He's our teacher. I say, no, Long Po Fang. Oh, he's our teacher. So we could, later then I found out because all the monks know him. They said they leave him alone. But the most sad thing is what? He become a beta. He shouldn't be that. He should be at least a deva, higher state of Arya as a monk, which he got all the time. But a beta, sad to say. Unlike Long Po Wee, also same thing, this old monk. But he's a farmer. This Long Po Wee, he's a farmer. And he practiced because he ever ordained, he de-stroked once. And he have wife and children. He know what is suffering. He come back the second time as a monk, full swing. They even ask him, Long Paul, you want? No. He just keep quiet. He take his food. After the food, you see him walking, meditation, sitting, walking, sitting. And he sit whole night in meditation, whole night. So impressive. Wow. This is how, you see, a practitioner, this is how the Buddha always encouraged, this is my son. The Buddha said, this is the correct way. That's why I said, when we come to an era where most people, they use the word first, that is the end of the Dhamma. Why? Because you are using supposition first to represent Dhamma. We don't take Nibbana as our aim really. We take worldly thing as our aim and finish. And when you look at that, the lay people will be slowly distorted. That what we see now, you can see now. I can see very clearly in a lot of countries, lay people start to come and teach. And the monk who teach also don't know what they are teaching also. They also come and teach. So it's just that the blind leading the blind now. Then you look at the whole thing, good luck to each their own karma. We can only conclude that because why? Because this is the karma. They themselves met up with the teacher, but they don't treasure the teacher. This is what happened. But Long Po Wee, he just received instruction and he full swing on himself. You see, how individual, that's why we talk about karma, individuality. You are your own owner of your own karma, right? You got no one to blame. Heaven and hell, we can choose. We have time to choose. We have the ability to choose. And no one can do it for us. Only ourselves can do it for ourselves only. That's all. It's not that we are selfish. No. If people they tell the selfish, who cares? When we die, who die with us? When we are down, our mind state drop to zero. Can't even focus. Can they help us? No one can help us. Who can help us? We ourselves. We know our mind state had dropped. We know we can't focus. And how to make it focus? How? It's the practice. It's the exertions of the practice. Walk a lot. Sit a lot. Throw away the handphone. Throw away the computer. Then you can see how your mind progress. I was very lucky. I would tell you, you're so lucky. I ordained the era where things is not so sophisticated than nowadays. We want to hear Dhamma. We got to travel whole day. You think so? You go to the temple, the teacher will talk. He don't talk. You got to wait until few days. One pra. Then he give one sermon. And no recorder, you better remember properly. And then we go and ask him a lot of questions. Ask already, then he say, okay, go. So happy. But nowadays, you can download so easily and people are not improving. They are backward. Every people want to do like thesis style, want to translate book, want to write book. Oh, they never want to translate their own heart. Why am I like that? Why my mind is so crazy? Why? How am I going to contain this craziness of me? How? That's more better. And we are exposing to a lot of fake Dharma now, fake rubbish. But it attracts a lot of people because why? Rubbish, people like rubbish. Just like junk food, people love it. They love junk food. Attract a lot of people. If real food, they're not so nice. And then you got sickness, they go see doctor, and then you blame the food. Don't blame your mouth. You see, human beings never blame themselves, always blame other people. This is our weaknesses. So remember, you come here, my duty is to instill encouragement with compassion so that you can be reminded, don't deviate from the path, treasure what you have now, because life is minus. Every in and breath, out breath is minus, not plus. The minute to this world, you already hang up your number already, I'm dying, when, don't know. And your breath is decreasing, right? So don't be complacent, okay? Before we receive the blessing, sit and meditate. Normally talk about karma, our old belief. We always say that, my old karma, everything we do now is because of what we've done in the past. And thus resulted in this present moment that we're experiencing. And it's sort of like a fated things. But if you were to look at the Buddha's teaching, when the Buddha talked about mindfulness, about this present moment, this karma that's committed, you got to rely on what? On our sensory glands, on the ear, on the eyes. We come in contact with things we like or we don't like. With our ears, the sound that we listen, we like or dislike. The nose come in contact with the smell, like and dislike. And the taste, your tongue, with the taste of liking and disliking. And your bodily feelings, liking and disliking. And of course, the mind that we engage with all this activity, tasks, created all this memory, all this mental formation of liking, disliking, that constitute us to become a karmic forces in our present life and to bring forward. So in Buddhism, we talk about karma is more of in its presence that we have the decision to make. Like what we are performing now, a meritorious deed. In Buddhism, we say that transference of merits in remembrance, the gratitudes of our departed one, our relative, our parents, our beloved one. So it's very important. This kind of moral values that we got to have institute in our mind. And because if we never put in this good type of input into the individual mind, and this is what we will be experiencing in our future, what we are seeing now, right? So it's very, very crucial. How are we going to train ourselves? At the same time, set and good example. A lot of people, everything that happened to them, they already said, karma. It's true, it's karma, but the Buddha never said that you cannot change. There is a change, you can change. The changes must start with from ourselves. We talk about food, and we know that we have certain allergy, certain kind of sickness that we cannot consume certain food. We must exercise this kind of self-control of not taking the food so that this allergy or this sickness of ours doesn't reoccur again. Because when there's a reoccurrence, who suffered? You. The individual suffered. And they say, my karma. And they know this, you cannot take durian because of high blood pressure, you got cholesterol. Say, but durian is very nice. Never mind. After I take medicine. You see, this is how our greedy mind, our craving, not being able to control us. That's why we talk about Buddhism. Sometimes we must understand karma. We must understand what is the cause, the real cause of our suffering. From where? It's our own doing. Not being understanding where this comes from here, from ourselves. Because if you can make yourself and you know that, okay, but that doesn't mean this making of ourselves, which our mind can accept with this kind of clear comprehension and understanding, because it's within us. We knew, we are doctor, we know, doctor must, this kind of safety protocol we must follow, and what kind of medicine is good, what kind of medicine is no good, and a lot of things we know. But if you talk to a farmer, they doesn't know. You see? But we want to tell them, and we try to enforce. Is it possible? It's impossible, especially when people are not informed. Even though we are so informed, you look at ourselves, sometimes we know this is a bad thought. This type of thought is no good. But yet we fall into the trick of this thought. this thinking, this mindset. We know that breaking the precept is no good. Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, telling lies, alcohol. But there's some portal people that say that, who cares? And are we going to have war with them? We can't. We're going to live and let live. May they be well and happy. And that's all. We only have these good wishes, but we cannot enforce. It's just that a lot of country going through all this kind of traumatic, unfair treatment in the society. What can they do? Do they have a choice? Why are you born there? And yet, you got to make good with what you are and what you have. And then life won't be so suffering for you. Because we know how to maneuver around. Even though we are in a very lean and mean condition, but yet we can survive. We can survive not because we got to break the precept. The more we got to observe precept, the more we got to practice goodness in ourselves. Because all human beings long for peace, happiness, prosperity, or their well-beings. Nobody wants bad thing to happen in their life. But there's two sides of everything. Not every day is a sunny day. Not every day is a rainy day. Right? When it rains, we put on the raincoat. Likewise with life. If something doesn't go in line to happen, we try to remedy it. Right? We try our best to tell people the do's and the don'ts, the setback. Just like we monks, we are religious figures. Our duty is to advise, share the knowledge. But we cannot force you to do. Because why? You are not me, I am not you. We got different set of mind. We have different kind of background. Something is good for me, which we think. But to another person, then they say, yes, I know it's good. But we are not ready. You see? When we have this kind of understanding, we arrive at this kind of understanding, then we will be easy. Because why? We don't weigh ourselves down. We will look at the situation and we see what we can do, what we can help. So we won't be weighed down. Just like a lot of people, they can't adapt this kind of changes. That's why we say, you would stay in this world of unfairness, this world that's full of greed, hatred, and delusion. People with this kind of mindset, hating the country. You think they are angels to come and born? No. They are human beings. They have great hatred. You think they're Arahant? They're the Buddha? No. It's just a human being putting on a mask. In front one thing, behind one thing. And this is what we call the world of samsara. That's why the Buddha, when they talk about karma, when the Buddha look at the whole world. Our Lord Buddha, he been through this kind of thing, and the society that our Lord Buddha faces in the past, that's why he got to come a kind of Dhamma, rationalness that we can have a change. We must make the change, and we can do it within ourselves, our own means. And because of this kind of thoughts, it developed into a skillful way of lifestyle. That's why in Buddhism, it can spread externally from India. It doesn't succeed, but it doesn't die off because of the Dhamma missionary go out externally, especially King Ashoka, Reverend Mahinda, and Sankamita. You see, this is how Dhamma has been expanded and go to overseas. And that's why we are so lucky, right? Because of this missionary sacrifice that go overseas, we benefit here also, right? We benefited even though we are in a foreign land. And why in a foreign land people can accept? Because this is a good quality, good value for mankind. Like I said earlier, all human beings long for peace, happiness, prosperity, no quarrel, no dispute. They try their best. Even yes, they try to minimize it. Even yes, people make mistakes. They try to forgive and move on. They have kindness, the act of kindness, metta, the kind of kindness that people practice. And that's why you look at different countries, the whole world, what people start to get waken up and start to want to go into mindfulness training. And we as a Buddhist, and we say, oh no, the training is wrong. Oh, it should be this way. This is more of a attachment to custom, to way of doing things. We want to look at the values. Last time when I was in Thailand, I was a young man, and some religion, I don't want to say the religion, they has been hiring all this rope, Bali 9 great monk to translate into the language. So they want to find for how to attack. And after translating, most of them become Buddhist. Yeah. Especially in Singapore, some of the very well-known Bali translator, they are ex-Christian. And they become Mahavira disciple. They translate, so good the teaching. Why I want to destroy this type of teaching? No. Switch camp. We come to a foreign land. That's why when the Buddha talking about Satya, the truth is always the truth. Evil can never win the truth. You must remember. But I'm not saying that other religions are good. No. All religions are good. They teach people to be wise, to make decisions, right? But in Buddhism, we offer the door, offer how to upgrade yourself. We never say that, we only worship the Buddha as an individual. We worship more. We have gratitude to the Buddha, but we worship more and put into practice the Buddha's teaching, because it can be put to test, the Dhamma. Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Santitiko. You can come. It's timeless. You can put to test and can see for yourself. And you dare to question who create you. We dare to question who create God. Same thing. We can question. So there's a freedom of thoughts that you dare to question, to ask. It's not something that we have been inside the box. You cannot think outside the box. So this is something very good in Buddhism, especially this country we call about freedoms, this and that. You must have the freedom for people to make the choice into how to lead their life. A lot of people, they may not call themselves a Buddhist, but their way of life, they live like a Buddhist in nature, in themselves. That's why when the Buddha said, all beings have this what you call Buddha nature. When you talk about Buddha, the one who knows, everybody knows. But just different people got different karmic. That's why you are born into different place, different mindset, different kinds of situation, different kind of country. But again, when we talk about kindness, what touches the heart? Kindness, gratitude, compassion. These are the things that will touch people's heart. And what are the things that cause our misery? All these detrimental thoughts. So this we must be very, very aware. In the society, especially come to a place where a lot surrounded with people with all the wrong views, the more we must be resilient, the more we have to practice the Dhamma, put the Dhamma first, and live under the guidance of the Dhamma. Then we can really find what is called true happiness in our life. The Buddha will never say things that's not true. The Buddha went through all these trails of thoughts, all this kind of contemplation. That's why it comes with all sets of, you see, if you look at the sutta, different places the Buddha will explore different kinds of sutta to suit different kinds of mentality, so that the people can put into your daily life practice to bring them happiness, peace and happiness and prosperity for that individual. We call it clans or tribes. So human being, you and me, likewise, we only long for this goodness. But again, we cannot only long for. We must put into practice in our daily life. And that'll be the sharing for today. I'll sit and meditate before the blessing. You see, we come into this world. Most of the people, they are very easily carried away. They are very easily carried away by what? By name, fame, status, and their belongings that once upon a time they don't have, and now that they have, they don't know how to treasure. I use the word treasure, or make full use of what they have. They get lost in the materials, enjoyments, sensual pleasure, right? They get lost. Why we say they get lost? Because they've forgotten where they come from, or where this body come from. If we were to reflect, then we will know that we must look after this body of ours. And the Buddha has laid out The strategy so, so wise. The strategy of 5 precepts: no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no telling lies, no alcohol. And because of the influence we have from certain culture, we are not going to penalize any specific culture. Certain culture, they are not so encourageable. We have been influenced and we've forgotten the good quality we once upon a time we have in ourselves, that we have been instilled with this kind of good quality of the 5 precepts, of the goodness, and we get diluted, we get carried away, and in the end we lost the bearing of life, the direction of life. We must bear in mind, we mustn't get lost, because this life of ours in this earth is only temporary, it's not forever. Nothing is forever, and we can come here today to sit down together as a gathering, to listen to the talk. Is also not coincident. There is always a cause to everything. And never forget, we make use of every good opportunity that arises to remind people of the goodness they already have. How to nurture your goodness that you already have. And to make good, be contented what you already have. When we say make good, that means whatever thing you still don't have, you can work for it, but don't be crazy about it. You can have it the best, hope for the best, but we always prepare for the worst. Because why? Life is so uncertain, right? We can see people today, this morning, afternoon, we say, no more around. We see him afternoon and night, he went to sleep and never come back again. So life is so uncertain. So remember to treasure and then to be able to have the kind of appreciated mind state that, wow, we are so lucky to be born as a human being. We are so lucky to have met the Buddha's teaching in educating ourselves in the good values for human being to follow, right? Especially the precepts, the restraint in our sensory gland, so that in the future life, if you were to come back, you don't have to worry, right? You don't have to go to a fortune teller to ask them what will you be going in the next lifetime. You know very well now, if your mind is well composed with all the abundant goodness, and we are not carried away, we know how to live our life morally and constructively, and the best, bring out the best of yourself in this lifetime. Then you don't have to worry about next lifetime, about what kind of rebirth, because from your behavior, your mind state already been decided. So if you can always maintain this kind of humble, very kind, compassionate mind state, you don't have to worry. The next destinations, the next stop will definitely be a good stop. Definitely, I use the word, unless you have very strong vipaka karma that you've done in the past, they're going to obstruct you. And even that, will be only just a while. And because of the goodness we have accumulated all this time, right, in regardless of whatever, where we, in any part of the world, the goodness will always follow us, right? And that will be the sharing for today. Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sakarang eva meva nitotina petana upakapatit ichita badita dumha kipameva samichatu sape purentu sankapa Chandho panara so yatha manicho diraso yatha Tiya vivajandu samaro govina saduma devava vandarayo sukhi digayo gomava viva tanasile sanicang buddha Vajayino Cakaro Dhamma Vatanti Ayuhano Sukhang Alaya Samipade Seka
เปเตวาสาปริตจติโยศีลาวะเดตโมเจตวาสัญญาเตพระมจาริโนยาดาตาเดวตาสุนตาสาดากินามาเดเสตาปุจิตาปุจายันติมาริตามานายาตินังตาโตนังอนุกัมปันติมาตาพุทธาวราสังเทวตานุกัมปิโตโปโสสัตตบารานิปัสสติภวตุสาพมังคลังราคะดุสาบเดวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเตภวตุสาพมังคลังราคะดุสาบเดวตาสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเตภวตุสาพมังคลังราคะดุสาบเดวตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเต